Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast, making a positive difference in learning through innovation.
Welcome to Innovation Squadcast, and thanks for making us part of your educational PD journey. Today, we're witnessing what happens when you combine maker culture and learning, transforming standard cell diagrams into talking interactive puzzles and turning body system charts into animated LED light shows. I am Jimmy Kate.
Ashely Wilson,
Miranda Abney,
Alyssa Gaspers.
And we are on location, Cane Bay High School, in a great innovative classroom. And, let's just start with the why. What motivated you to try these kind of high-tech, hands-on projects?
I just like to have fun in my classroom. Like, I want the students to learn and have fun while they're doing it.
Yeah, and we see that all the time whenever learning and fun, happen. That's the kind of creates that kind of deeper learning. Miranda, how do you feel compared to like a normal week of science class?
Like, it just really let me express my creativity, and it was just so much fun being able to work with the other students and just to see their faces whenever it lit up.
Yeah. And Alyssa, how do you find yourself thinking about science differently when you built your LED system?
A lot of it wasn't really the science, but it was more of like using my brain and my knowledge to actually create the project itself.
Yeah, and we love when you were working on those kind of work and life skills. And so, Ashely, for teachers listening who are hesitant to using these kind of maker ideas and projects in class, what would you say is the difference you saw in engagement?
I just had 100% engagement, I think. Like, there was no student who wasn't actively working on their project, and they were excited to do it. We had some students who even wanted to take theirs home to finish it and finish coding and doing all the things. So they were completely engaged, and it's not just like engaged in the assignment, but they're engaged in each other. They're creating communication skills at the same time.
Right. Yeah. We're using communication, creativity, their collaboration that's going on, and critical thinking. Miranda is a huge part of coding. So when your puzzle didn't work the first time, how did that feel, and how did you have to go about figuring it out?
It was really confusing whenever it didn't work the first time. So again, I created a script just in case if it wouldn't work later on. But eventually we reworded the coding, and it ended up working out, so we can listen to my voice recordings.
Yeah. And then Alyssa, when the lights didn't quite go how they wanted, or it didn't show exactly what you needed to show for the learning, how did you go about figuring that out?
Yeah, so at first we didn't exactly use our resources and the AI that was provided. We thought we could do it all ourselves, but after actually using our resources and what was provided to us, it made it a lot more understanding and easier to figure out.
Yeah. And Ashely, did the students surprise you with their ability to handle some of the tech? And did you see yourself learning from the process as well?
Yes, absolutely. They definitely know more than I do. I have to say that I'm just not comfortable with a lot of the coding stuff, but I'm getting better. But they were able to show me. And so there were some things and components that I was really confused on how they were supposed to do, but they picked it up so easily, especially in the LED lighting and changing the colors at different sections. I was like, how are you supposed to do that, or know when to start or stop or whatever? And they just ran with it.
Yeah. And so Miranda, science sometimes is often seen as just kind of learning facts and doing certain things, but you got to be artistic here. How did it feel to use creativity to design your cell there?
Yeah, it was really fun learning about how the proper space meant to be able to make.
You want to hold it up?
Yeah. Here. Wait, this is what it looks like with all the organelles, and it was just really fun being able to pick my own pictures and glue it on and labeling, and to make sure that it's properly spaced for each circuit tape behind it to work properly.
Yeah, and so for that project, for people that don't know, they would put the organelle down, and then there'd be an MP3 recording of Miranda telling them what that organelle does, and they had to lay out the circuit tape in a certain way to make sure they were connected and the right organelle was doing the right thing. So tons of work and life skills taking place there as you go through. Same thing with our LED system. Alyssa, hold that one up and talk about some of the creativity that had to go into creating this. So
so a lot of the creativity, I think, definitely went into the colors and doing the LED lights and figuring out which color, especially with the arteries and the capillaries and where blood will become deoxygenated and oxygenated.
Right. And so you're learning and also, again, applying that kind of coding. And that's where MagicSchool AI comes in to help with that code and record your own voices. So how did, Miranda, how did teaching the content with the puzzle help you learn it better?
It helped me learn how each organelle really is essential to a cell's life, and how detrimental it would be if one was missing. Just how the voice recordings wouldn't play properly if one puzzle piece was missing as well.
Sure. Alyssa, same thing. I could already tell that you had learned because you knew what colors things were based off of the different. What other learning took place as you're going through about the body system in general that you? gain from the project? Yeah.
A lot of like the information, like especially cardiovascular system, like Miss Wilson went over pretty well. But a lot of it was like actually like applying it, like you said, and like presenting it and like knowing what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like being able to put it into words.
Yeah. So taking that and applying that learning. And so, those work and life skills, how do projects like this help build those work and life skills, perseverance, adaptability, problem solving, and then also that application part?
So one of my classes is actually CTE, Alyssa's class that did the LED lights. And so it is important that I'm teaching them as part of their standards, but it's also important for classes like Miranda's classes that aren't CTE related either, but they want to be able to communicate their findings because it just helps them develop that ability to communicate, problem solve, things that they're going to have to do outside of the classroom. I tell all my students all the time, no matter what class they're in, that my responsibility is not just to teach them the content, but also to teach them how to go out into the real world. And so these are projects that definitely help do both of those things.
Absolutely. And Miranda, why do you think it's important for schools to let students do projects like this?
I think it's important because they can really like use the foundation of knowledge that they've been taught in school and like really just like apply it to certain things. And also it was like really cool like being able to like learn it myself as well.
And Alyssa, how do you think using tools like AI, laser cutter, microbits prepares you for those life outside of school and whatever careers you decide to go into?
So I do feel like AI is like a big thing now, and it's like made its way into like workplaces, like a lot of like you'll see like medical offices using it, and also just like just because we're in like a health science classroom doesn't mean like those skills won't be important or like apply to somebody else's like work life in the future.
Yep. And then we don't know where AI is going, but moving from, a search engine and just answering questions or writing papers, but actually what can I create with AI to solve these problems, to make something that is really, really interesting and engaging. And so that's really awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for doing these projects. If the teachers out there, you're seeing these types of projects, it doesn't have to be these exact projects, but using microbits and LEDs, we can do just, lots of different things. We're doing a constellation, thing with it, with students. And then same thing with interactive puzzles. We can do just about every topic using this type of technology. So reach out to your ILC and we'll be more than happy to help facilitate that as we go through. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Until next time, keep innovating.
Thanks for tuning in to the Innovation Squadcast today. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or follow on Spotify to stay updated on all of our latest episodes, and check out our show notes for important resources. You can also earn renewal credits through our podcast PD and Unified Talent. Just 2 episodes get you 1 credit. And visit the BCSD Innovation Squad Facebook and Instagram pages for even more inspiration. And if you're ready to move forward and transform your classroom into a space of innovation, reach out to your ILC. And until next time, keep innovating and make a positive difference in your students' lives.